What's going on, everyone? We're going to talk about UPST Upstart Holdings. So massive decline over the, really feels like ages. But I mean, if we come all the way back here to this high price of $401.49, I mean, that's actually like, sometimes looking at some of these stocks that where they were trading absolutely blows my mind. So, you know, Upstart is in a huge bear market in itself, right? So yes, we've had a few pops and some more drops along the way here. We've really been selling off since about October. So if we look at November, December, January, February, we're in about a 4 month just solid decline here. And what I want to actually bring up here is if we look at this purple line on my screen, this is a 20-day moving average. We've pretty much just been hugging this 20-day moving average all the way for about 3.5, 4 months. We did quickly reclaim it one day, lost it the next, but I was starting to get a little excited at the beginning of the week. I thought that, a lot of these, high speculation, high growth stocks started to, find a bottom. And when stocks find a bottom, is it time to buy, right? So the main question that I want to answer in this video is it time to start loading up on UPST? And I don't think that we can say yes. If today and yesterday did not happen, like let's just rewind the tape back 2 days, I would say potentially it's time that we could start nibbling in and starting a position here on Upstart. The reason why is because we had originally tested here on the 2nd or on the 1st of February. We had tested the 20-day moving average and closed above. It was the following day on the 2nd where we lost this 20-day moving average and began a little bit of consolidation down here. But what I did like in the stock is that coming off of these lows here, we had an initial push up followed by a small pullback, just a back test, and then we had this first close over the 20. So when we pulled back the second time, I like that this new base was forming here. And what I did like is that we put in a higher low. So if this is our higher low here, and this is our absolute low here, you can see that we started putting in a higher low, which potentially could be telling us that if we can get back above the 20-day moving average for the second time, then potentially we can kind of chop around. And the big level that we need to reclaim is 129, which is the 50-day moving average. I think that as soon as Upstart can get above 129, that is when I'm going to want to be nibbling in on this, because any stock that can reclaim their 50-day moving average generally has room to run. And that room to run would be between 167 and 186. How long it would take to get there is yet to be determined. But what I do not like, we had the Fed guy Bullard come everywhere talking about 100 basis points interest rate hike to 1% by July. That sold the market. We had coming off the back of the CPI data numbers, inflation came in hot yet again. We already knew that, right? We thought that big price in was already done and said for, right? So bulls did a good job yesterday kind of recovering off that. But then today, now we have more just uncertainty in the market with news talks about Russia invading Ukraine. I mean, as soon as that news line and all of these headlines started to hit the waves today intraday, you really started to see the selling start to accelerate. So there's also more like, things I'm seeing on Twitter about the Fed having some emergency meeting on Monday. And are they going to raise rates on Monday? Guys, the Fed has these, non-public, off the books meetings all the time, 1 to 2 a month, every single month. So it's like, this is all like nonsense being created out of thin air. I do not think that we raise interest rates starting on Monday. I think it's just a meeting to get them ready going into March, because we do have a lot of things coming in March. So I wouldn't really be concerned about that. Mainly the reason, we've been selling off the past couple of days was the remarks made by Bullard yesterday on interest rate hikes, and the Russia-Ukraine news. That really spooked the market, a lot of uncertainty. So here's going forward. I would not start a starter position in Upstart just yet, because today we lost the 25 and 10-day moving average. So for me, it becomes very, very bearish again on the stock when we actually start looking at a closer picture here and seeing that the levels that we lost, let me just kind of blow this up so you guys can see it, closed above the 20, a little bit of a back test towards the 10-day moving average, which is nice. What we were looking for here is an overall market to kind of hold our support levels today and kind of make that continued bounce so we can continue running into 125 and 129. And again, it would be here once we do reclaim the 50-day moving average, put in a new high, and then we do come back to consolidate and build our new base. this is where I'm going to want to start my starter position in Upstart. Now, being that we did lose these levels of support here and we are below all of the moving averages, we're going to have to look to prior price action to kind of see where we're going to find a bottom. Could that bottom be somewhere here in 93? Maybe, but you can't just go buying it at 93, because what if that doesn't hold and we come down to 85? And what if that doesn't hold and the market goes into some deep recession? We have, more, just nervousness around the stock market and we come down to 74. So no way you want to buy stock now at $100 if potentially we can see 90, 80, and $70 in the near term future. I hope that's not, what's going to be the case, but you don't also have to feel like you're missing out on anything. Look what's forming up here on Upstart, right? We have a little bit of a trend line that we can draw. I know the trend line's a little bit rocky, but we can draw this trend line here. We bounced off it. We came back to back test. We bounced off it. We came back to back test. We bounced off it. We came back to back test. Now, if next week we get this nice bounce, you can absolutely 100% day trade this. You can absolutely scalp this to the long side. But as far as starting a position here where you're going to really, hold for the long term, absolute no. Just due to the fact that, yes, you might miss out on some money if we do come up into this range. However, I'd rather be safe than sorry, right? Meaning come back up and do this. Because if you kind of look at what's forming here, we have a big nasty drop we already know for months. Could this be just a bull flag or a bear flag, right? So if we look at this trend line, bottom trend line here, and we do not hold, and this is some sort of, flag to the bottom, then we could 100% see us coming back to these most recent lows. My advice, stay patient. You're not going to miss out on anything. The stock's not going back up to 200, 300, 400 overnight, okay? You're going to have plenty of time to get into the stock. Let the stock develop. Let the play develop. We don't just want to be rushing in on things and then getting our heads chopped off. Guys, if you like this video and you enjoy content like this, please do me a favor. Subscribe to my channel. Also, leave me a comment. Let me know what your thoughts on Upstart, as well as join my Discord. That link is down in the description box below, and I will see you guys all in the next video.